Feint that jab, feint that two, feint that shot, feint that shot. See how they react. Coach Cody here from Marindola Martial Arts, and today we're going to talk about 5 tips that will help you be successful when you shoot in for a takedown. Why don't you drop a knee on that subscribe button? I believe it's down there. One of the first things that I address with my students when I start teaching them takedowns, we're on a nice soft cushy mat, a traditional wrestling style takedown. You're putting that lead knee on the ground so your back foot can swipe around, keep your momentum going, get the takedown. However, if you put that lead knee down on the ground in the street, you're gonna go home with no kneecap. I think even one of the legendary Gracies years and years ago, could even be decades ago, shattered his kneecap pretty bad by shooting in for a takedown on concrete and put that lead knee down, and man, not good. The first thing that we're going to talk about is knowing your range. If you're too far away from the person and you shoot in, you're going to be grabbing a ghost. You're going to be shooting in on air. If you're too close to the person and you go to shoot in, you're not going to be able to get low enough to control their hips. At that point, you might as well just clinch with the person, over, under, body lock, try to tip them down, suplex, whatever, or tie plumb, or control the biceps, and left way, control the shoulder so you can smash with your head. I just add that in because in the street, you can use all of your weapons. I use my head a lot in the street. Being headbutt hurts like hell. You're just being cognitive, understanding how far away from you the other person is. Also, for self-defense situations and for street situations, you need to be aware of what's behind your opponent, or what's behind what we call the bad guy. Okay, you have a group of children behind them and you rush them into a takedown, you're gonna crush some kids and you're gonna have some parents really mad at you. So just be conscious of what's around you. Fundamentals when it comes to martial arts is situational awareness, being aware of your surroundings, of what's happening, who's around you, what's around you, all of that. So number 2, we're going to talk about baiting your opponent with your jab in order to be successful with the takedown. A lot of times when when your plan is to shoot in for that takedown, get around those hips, squeeze those knees together so you have control over the person. You can get them onto the ground and use your ground and pound, your jiu-jitsu, or whatever floats your boat. You need to have their hands up here, up high, okay? If their hands are just down here, they're going to be able to sprawl a lot easier. They're going to be able to push your head down. They could even hit you with an uppercut or a little check hook as they turn the corner, and you're going to, almost like a bullfighter does, a little ole, you're going to go flying in the wrong direction and land on your face, and that's when they probably suck, kick you in the head if it's the street or something like that. So what I want to use my jab to get them to cover up, get them to react to it, get them to block it, maybe even to try to hit me back. That's what I want. So sometimes I'm just pawing it out there. I might not even be able to hit it. They might be blocking it. Okay, I still want to throw it out there. I want to be throwing it out there. Jab is the most important punch in any combat sports, period. Learning how to use that jab and really be successful with it can make or break, your fighting career. Rob Font, UFC fighter, he's from the Massachusetts area, the Boston area, and his jab is phenomenal. Props to you, Rob. He uses it almost better than I've even seen a lot of pro boxers use it. So get them thinking up high, get them showing up. I can even throw some 1-2s, maybe even a hook, but I'm really using that jab. I'm focusing on that jab, okay? Once I see those hands go up, that's my ticket to shoot in. A lot of times when you want to shoot in is when the person's trying to hit you with power. Never shoot off of the other person throwing a jab. If they throw a jab and you go to shoot in, bang, you're gonna eat a knee like poor head Masvidal did to Ben Askren. Even though there was no jabs involved, that was still a pretty brutal knee. If a person throws a jab, I'm not gonna shoot in off the jab. Low. Where you're trying to get around is the hips and legs. If I shoot in like this, I'm gonna be eating punches. And a lot of times when guys are tired in the cage or in the ring, when they're, exhausted, maybe they've, had a really hard fight so far, And that's when they start getting a little lazy, a little tired with the takedown, and that's where you see kind of like that straight legs type takedown where they do this, and a lot of times they just end up eating shots, eating knees, eating punches. I want to change levels. So I'm looking straight at my end game. I am looking straight at where I want to be, okay? Shooting in like this, a lot of times does not work. And this is shooting in for a single leg and double leg. I don't mean just closing the distance to clinch or closing the distance off the hook for the Muay Thai plum or anything like that. That's something completely different. Another main reason why we want to change levels when we shoot in is because the person is going to be trying to punch you in the face. If they're punching here, okay, so they're punching here, and you go like this, guess what? They missed the punch, which means their weight's gonna come forward some, which means their posture is gonna start to bend over you as you hit those hips with your head and shoulders, okay? That's what you want. You want them bent over you. If they're straight up with those hips forward and those legs back sprawling, it's gonna be like trying to lift up 1,000 pounds. There's only a few people on earth that can do that. I want to get low. I want to change levels, okay? So when I'm going to shoot in on my buddy Bob here, you know, I might pull my jab out, get him to throw some punches back. I want to duck the punches first. Now I'm going to shoot in. Boom. If I want a single leg, I'm going to grab that single leg. I can do all kinds of funky stuff. I want to go for the double leg. You know, I can wrap around and drop them. I can scoop them completely in the air, land in side control. You know, just about any time I take somebody down, I want to be past their legs already. I do not want to shoot in, grab both legs and push them straight and basically pull them so that I'm in their guard when we hit the ground. Because if they're quick with their submissions, you're going to be in trouble very, very fast. I want to get past all of that. I want to land in side control. So change levels, then shoot in. Very, very, very important. Number 4, you need to go hard and you need to go fast. If you shoot in lazily, slow, you're going to get sprawled on every single time. And if the person's got a good sprawl, you're going to end up in turtle position like this. They're probably gonna spin around, take your back, get those hooks in, flatten you out, and start boxing the back of your ears right into the canvas. So you wanna maximize your energy efficiency when you shoot in, okay? So you wanna get the job done as quick as possible, if possible. Sometimes, if guys got good sprawls, it's gonna take you 2 or 3 attempts, even in the same shot. So they call that chaining your wrestling together, chaining your shots together. You know, I shoot in, they maybe sprawl. Well, guess what? I change the angle, I keep going. Maybe they regain their balance, they get one of their legs free or something. Guess what? I keep going until I get them to the mat. Is it ideal to get them down in the first attempt? Of course, but that's not realistic for every situation. I wish it was. You want to go hard and fast. Boom. Their hips should already be moving backwards, so their feet are in front of their hips. It's really hard to sprawl if your feet are already in front of your hips, like this, like you're sitting down. It's really hard to get your feet behind you at that point. When your hips are more in a neutral position, you're in an upright position, then it's a lot easier to sprawl, okay? Or to misdirection sprawl. Boom, whatever you like, whatever your poison is. But when you shoot in, imagine like you're trying to knock their hips over with your shoulder and your head, and then you use your second angle. And a really weird thing about human beings is we cannot counterbalance in 2 directions at the same time. It's why fishermen take months to get their sea legs to where they don't feel like they're on a boat anymore. Because when the boat's moving in all these different directions at the same time, your body's trying to counterbalance in all these directions at the same time. It's extremely hard. But after a long time, your inner ear fluid adjusts, your equilibrium adjusts, then you don't feel like you're on a boat anymore. But when you come back on land, you get what's called land sickness, where when you're on something that is not moving, it's gonna feel like you're moving. And that's just an inner ear thing, you know. I'm not really sure how long it takes to snap out of that. I'm not a fisherman, even though my biological father was. I don't really know. I don't really want to talk too much about something that I don't really know about. So back what I was actually talking about. You want to shoot in hard and fast. Get that job done quick. Quick. Martial arts is based on two things that will make you a successful martial artist. The first one is speed, and the second one is deception. And keep your eye on us because we will be talking about those things very, very, very soon. The fifth thing when it comes to shooting and being successful with your shot and actually getting the fight to the ground where you want it to be, or even getting them pinned into the cage like Khabib Nurmagomedov does, you know, and then start to use the cage to get them down. That's fine too, but you have to get them to the cage or you have to get them to the ground. And in my opinion, the best time to do that is when they're trying to hit you with power, with that rear hand. Okay, if, as I said earlier, if you shoot in on a jab, they're still ready to go with everything else. They're ready to sprawl, they're ready to uppercut you, they're ready to throw a knee. You know, I had someone say to me recently, oh, I've never seen anybody land an uppercut when somebody shoots in. And it's not extremely common, but it does happen. But here's the thing, even if you don't land the uppercut, your hand's there to sprawl. Why not throw the uppercut? If you hit, great, fight could be over. But if you hit their shoulder, or if you don't knock them out, you're gonna be able to lift them back up and push their head down. Your hand's gonna be in the right position. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to drop a knee on that subscribe button, like the video, drop a comment. You know, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We'll try to get back to you and answer as quick as we can. You can click to watch the next video, and I will see you in that one.